want to get into that. The first star of the week was Alex Ovechkin. Sidney Crosby is making his first tour of Western Canada, and geez, when was the last time he came out here? It's been a long time.
2018.
Yeah, 2018 probably is the most realistic.
Yeah.
Just going off of basic memory.
Yeah. There was a debate. There was something on Twitter that said that Scott Wheeler pointed out that you could make the argument that Ovechkin is closing in, that his argument was as Crosby. You can argue Crosby is the best player of this generation, but Ovechkin has closed the gap. And I thought some people thought that was ridiculous. And some people may still think that that's ridiculous, but I want to bring this up. Where are we in the Crosby-Ovechkin debate?
I'm still taking Crosby, but Ov has closed it up a bit.
Yeah, that's where I'm at as well, because at some point when you want to make those definitive conclusions on a guy's career, the games played column and some of these all-time records that come into play start to really matter. And the fact that we're even having the discussion about Ovechkin possibly catching Wayne Gretzky's all-time goals record is just unbelievable, right? So the gap's definitely closed, but when we measure a player's greatness, it is truly on Stanley Cups and gold medals at the Olympics, and Crosby still has the edge there a little bit, and probably will keep that edge when it's all said and done. But yeah, definitely for me, the gap is closing. And I was going to say, Ovechkin's making his case for the Hart Trophy discussion this year. I would say as well. He's right now second in points, only 3 behind Leon Draisaitl, and he's still doing it. And he's still showing that durability and doesn't seem to be slowing down. He's just unstoppable.
Yeah, I can't really disagree with the rest of the guys. I would have to say that Ovi is definitely impressing and is closing that gap. But I find it really hard to say that that Ovi is more of a complete player than Crosby is, because to me, Sidney has that complete game, whereas Ovi has always been more of just the pure goal scorer. And yes, he's very impressive in his ability to do that, and he's very dynamic in his ability to score. But as far as overall game and the overall legacy of who's number one, I feel like you have to have a more complete game, and that's where my vote still goes to Sid.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Chris. Also should be noted that Crosby's a center and Ovechkin's a winger, and center is a more challenging position to play.
Yeah, for once I gotta agree with Chris. The overall game does speak volumes. The fact that he does have multiple cups in comparison to Ovechkin speaks volumes as well. Gold medals, like Tyler was talking about, it's just everything that Sidney Crosby has brought to the game means more in my mind than Ovi searching for the goals title within the NHL. So I just feel like Ovi, it's a little too late. Yes, he's closing the gap, but Crosby, his tenure is just it speaks volumes over what Ovechkin has brought to the game, and that doesn't mean that Ovi obviously isn't a good player or arguably one of the best snipers within this game that within the NHL, within hockey history that we've ever seen. But Crosby in my mind is superior to Ovi.
I'm going to say something that I think some people are going to find ridiculous, but So
the day is ending in the Y?
Yeah. I think Alex Ovechkin is the second best winger to ever play this game. I think only Gordie Howe played the winging position better. I think I have Ovechkin and my top 10 of all time. I also have Crosby in my top 10 of all time, by the way. I do have Crosby ahead of Ovechkin. Yep. But I think it's a lot closer than people give it credit for. Yes, Ovechkin has 1357, and he's played a little bit longer than Crosby's 1351, so 1331 in terms of points. 508 power play goals. He's about to break the record for power play points, 508 power play goals. He's about to pass Dave Vanderchuk. But the way that Ovechkin, and both Crosby has done it as well, Crosby, we've talked about how Crosby adjusted his game from the beginning, and you look back at how he dominated at 16. But the way Ovechkin has changed his game over the years, like from being a pure bruising goal scorer that could one time from his office to adjusting how he's scored goals over the years, to even adapting and playing more of a 200-foot game. You just don't see what he's done from wingers. And I think I agree with you that Crosby is the better player, but I do feel like as much as we nominate and admire Ovechkin for his goal scoring prowess, I think his overall game we don't give him enough credit for, because that has been, and he's 36 years old, and rarely do we see an Ovechkin injury. I mean, that's been touching wood, but he has found a way to keep himself relevant and adapt to the game as the game wears on. And I just think that is such an underappreciated skill about Alex Ovechkin.